What is the best time frame Forex chart for you to trade? Let's talk about that and more right now. Hi Forex traders, Andrew Mitchem here, the Forex Trading Coach, and welcome to video and podcast number 196. And in today's video and podcast, I'm going to be discussing a topic that I get asked almost daily, and it's all about choosing the right time frame chart for you to trade. You see, it's an issue that confuses a lot of Forex traders, and it's easy to understand why that is the case. Because when you go through your charts, depending on the platform that you use, there are a group of different time frame charts to use, and depending on what's happening on which particular currency pair, they can all show different directions, or some are looking like the price is moving up and they're sort of green candles, and others you could see the price is moving down and they're red, and so it causes a lot of confusion for people. And so what I want to do to help you is to just run through just briefly some of the merits of different time frame charts and how you can best decide what works for you, because ultimately trading successfully is all about what works for you. So let's go through that, starting with the longer time frame charts. Now, if you use MT4, MetaTrader 4, you'll know that the monthly charts are the longest time frame chart available to trade. Now, monthly chart is quite an unusual chart in that you have to wait a long time on most currency pairs before you get a really good trade setup. Now, if you trade like me on the close of a candle, it's quite easy, because basically you've got 12 times a year, then you can go and look at your monthly charts and you think, is there a setup, yes or no? So monthly charts are probably not really for everybody, because you have to wait a long time between trades. You have to accept that the trade's going to remain open for a long time as well, or potentially for a long time. So I'd probably say to most people, just leave the monthly charts. However, if you're quite prepared to leave trades open and see them sort of move into profit and then back into maybe a loss, and be prepared for that longer term, hold that position, if that's you, absolutely go for it. And a lot of people do come to me and they say, look, I'm just too busy with work or family, other commitments to sort of be looking at charts all day and night. And so if that's you, then maybe the monthly charts are a good option for you. So you come down to the next time frame, and that on most platforms would be a weekly chart. And that's, to me, is probably, for personally, one of the longer time frame charts that I trade. And I also post on my membership site for my clients weekly trading suggestions. I also post monthly, but we don't get too many good setups. So weekly, of course, you get sort of 4 times, sometimes 5, depending on the month, within the weekly charts within the month to go and look at. And I like weekly charts. I think they're great. If you look through all the different currency pairs, you can quite often see, I generally post somewhere between about sort of 1 and 4 weekly charts in a week. The odd time there are none, if everything's a little bit sort of flat and indecisive, but most times there are some good setups there. And so that then you need to make the decision of if you're going to close that at the end of the week or let it stay open. But again, it depends what suits you. Great thing with those sort of weekly and then down to the daily time frame charts are a number of factors. Spread doesn't really become a major issue. You can generally write out most news announcements if you get widening spreads or the trade goes against you for a bit, if technically your setup's good in the first place. So you don't have to be sort of monitoring your charts all the time when there's a higher impact news announcement comes out, because generally on the bigger time frame charts, you have a bigger stop loss. You also have a bigger profit target, and so it means that your reward to risk out of a trade on a longer time frame chart of a daily or a weekly chart is generally very good, depending, of course, on your strategy. The way I trade, they sometimes sort of go between a 3, 4, even a 5 to 1 reward to risk on the daily, or especially onto the weekly time frame charts. And if you get that, and you only get a few setups every so often, and you can get profitable trades out of them, then you're going to make some excellent returns. So let's jump to the other end of the scale, and you can go down to 1-minute charts. I'd suggest that hardly anybody looks at those. 5, 15-minute time frame charts. That's great if they suit you, if you have the ability to be patient and wait and not jump in like too reactive. If you see a setup and you see it, then great, you need to get in, of course, but just because you're on a 5-minute time frame chart, you don't want to be just clicking trades here and there all the time, feeling that you have to trade. You still need to be patient and wait for good setups. If you're onto those 5-15-minute time frame charts, the great thing is you could say spend an hour a day, maybe 2, ideally in the higher activity times of the day, so ideally into the European or the US session, depending on what suits you. See those trades, take those trades, and then, emotionally you're out of the trade. If you close your trades out and you say, I'm going to spend no more than, let's say, 2 hours per day doing these trades, looking for potential setups, you can close your computer, close everything, and then come back tomorrow and start again. And that's the great thing with trading shorter time frame charts, but they don't suit everybody. It's exactly the same as the longer time frame. It's what suits you. And so find what suits you. And also, you might come up with a combination. Personally, for me, I take trades on weeklies and definitely the dailies almost every day. And then I look through 12-hour charts and 6-hour charts using some software that I have that allows me to look at those time frames on MT4. 4-hourly charts I like as well. And less so for me the 1-hour charts, because the European session is in my evening time and the US session is in my early hours of the morning. So I don't get up at 2 o'clock in the morning to trade the US session. But if you have the ability to look in the European or the US session a few hours, like a few times on the close of an hour chart in the daytime for you, fantastic. Then you will see some good setups throughout the day. So I hope that helps. Just bear in mind, overall, the bigger the time frames, less chart time, less emotions, and higher reward to risk trades generally. Very short time frame charts, you may need to commit more time to your charts or to your trades, but the good thing is you can then close out and be done. Or you have to accept that the reward to risk on those short time frame charts may not be quite so high because spread can be an issue. You'd have to be aware of news announcements that could affect the trades that you have open. Those sort of things you have to be aware of. So go through your charts, find what suits you as a person, as an individual, as a trader, work out a combination if needed, and then stick to that. So once again, this is Andrew Mitchem, the Forex Trading Coach. Have a great weekend. Look forward to catching up this time next week.